Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Becoming Your Own VIP, Mind, Body, and Soul. And I'm about to get ready to go to sleep. I'm tired, but I tend to do my videos late at night because, you know, you've had the whole day to contemplate, kind of reflect, and, you know, end the day with something positive, which is sharing things that I've learned and passing it on, paying it forward. And today's topic is duality, opposites, and what that really means. Not only opposites, but cause and effect, which is things you do that impact something else. You did this, so now it impacts this, right? So with duality, God made it so that everything has balance. You can't just be happy all the time. You can't just be sad all the time. You can't just be fruitful all the time. You know, you're going to have loss too. So God, there was dark and then God brought the light, right? So with duality, there's a lot of things that are outside of us and within us that is opposite. That has a positive and a negative polarity, right? So the weather is positive as well as negative. It can bring life and it could take life. Your emotions can bring joy and wonderment and amazement and excitement, but then it can also bring anxiety, depression, anger, sadness, right? We can have emotions and things that build up things, but then it can also tear everything down as well, right? So we have positive and negative. You have the light and you have the dark. So with that being said, then you have, you know, magnetic forces, magnetic field. You have a positive and a negative. You have the yin and the yang symbol, and then you have just again positive and negative experiences, things in this life period, right? It just is what it is. You have white, black, you have male, female, different religions, everything. Something is opposite of another. Somehow, somewhere, there's contrast. Good, bad, happy, sad. The point of it all is balance. Opposites attract. Duality helps us to embrace life and everything in it more fully. So how can you appreciate joy if you didn't know sadness? How can you appreciate your riches if you didn't know what it was like to be poor and not to have enough to care for yourself or your family, or to live paycheck and paycheck, stressed out, compared to just waking up one day and being able to do whatever you want without any care in the world? How would you know if you didn't know to have had experienced the opposite? And, you know, the thing I've learned is, you know, you have cycles in life. You have very progressive, fruitful cycles. And then you have kind of like your spring and summer, where it brings life, brightness, and abundance. And then you have your other seasons, fall and winter, where it brings change. It brings death. It brings, you know, heavy times sometimes, right? Changes, growth. And in order to grow, sometimes you got to shed that skin, shed those layers, right? So that when the next cycle comes around, you are rebirthed and you've learned and expanded based off of what those challenges were, what those experiences that brought that darkness into your life, whatever shed your leaves, as your branches, that have learned a lot of lessons might be weighing a little too heavy. And then by spring and summer, those new branches come out and grow new leaves, and you continue to grow and thrive. And you become stronger from any growth, any challenge, any temptation that came your way. And you know what? You also learned from those lessons so that your branches, your tree, your stump, your foundation, your roots are dug deep. And that, you're not going to topple over. You're going to kind of blow with the wind and know, well, hey, I've been there, done that. I've sheltered this storm. I can go through this again. Or you've invested more wisely in your money, in your behavior, your mannerisms, who you hang around with, what you do, what you see, what you speak. You're a little bit more wiser, maturer this season round than you were last season. So whatever you've done in your past, trust and believe after that experience, you're no longer the same person. You are absolutely no longer the same person you were the minute you uttered those words, because hopefully you've recognized what you did with those words, with that expenditure, with that choice that was made, right? And if not, that's where cycles come in, right? So again, seasons and cycles. So if you don't learn your lesson, guess what? You're going to keep going until you finally learn the lesson and choose to alter your path. Choose to grow stronger. Okay? Not be so reactive with spending your money so freely, or picking up every single food item and stuff thinking you're not going to gain weight, because by next season you're going to be like 20, 50 pounds. You're like, what happened? Well, your cycle came up, and you now learned from that cycle, and you woke up and saw that you gained that 50 pounds, or your bank account is struggling. You're in debt, and you don't know what you did, but between all those credit card shopping sprees and going out of town and doing whatever you were doing to make yourself feel good at that immediate moment, now has repercussions, cause and effect. Duality. You're having a good time, but were you doing it in a responsible way? Because with power comes great responsibility. You are gifted with power each and every single day, with the words you use, the actions you take, the people and the friends and the experiences you obtain through those actions, through those words, through those people in general, and how you choose to handle those things. It speaks volumes. And so one of those other things about duality is, yes, we have the outer, but we also have the inner. And again, your inner, your temple, controls all of this out here. And again, I'm grateful to learn that now. Again, I'm not the same person I was once before. I'm learning, I'm growing always, continuously, but I'm definitely not the same person I used to be. So duality within us is our darkness and our lightness within us. We all have it, okay? You can't cast a stone at anyone without looking and casting a stone at yourself first. Remember that biblical saying? So don't judge people, because we're all going through something. We all have our light and our dark side within us. We've all started in some way, shape, or form learning from others, as well as through our life, that shaped us into those aspects of darkness. Because we were all born with light. We didn't have anger, hate, prejudice, sadness, depression, anxiety, or fear, until the minute we came out that womb, and then we were slowly exposed to things. But it still took time to take away from our light, right? But our light is still there. We just got a lot of darkness that got kind of overwhelming. That darkness kind of kept burying that light, just going back down further into the pit. And all that clunk and junk got toppled down on the top of it, right? So, our light and our dark. So one side of us is saying things that, typically isn't the best thing. And the other side is saying things that is for the best of us. And, after a little bit, all that gunk and all that buildup of what people said and did to you, you get a victim mentality. You get demons buried down deep in the closet because we made choices off of how we felt a lot of the time, because we were blowing in the wind. We weren't taught any different, right? It's not anyone to blame. It just, no one ever was able to teach us any different. No one is able to teach them any different. They're doing the best they can. Quite simply, that's it. Every single one of us is doing the best thing we can each and every single day with what we learned, what we think we know, and what it will mean to be strong, what it means to be weak. We all have our own beliefs on it, right? Doesn't mean it's right. Hurt people hurt people. You don't realize you're hurt. You think you're strong. You think you're confident. You think you got everything under your understanding. But it's under your understanding of the world you know. But the world is so much bigger than you know. So you have duality. And that duality, sometimes this side shines brighter than this side, and sometimes this side shines brighter than this side. That creates cause and effect. That creates karma. And some people's karma comes back a lot faster than others, but that karma is going to come back around. Now you have good luck and bad luck. Bad luck is a reflection of your bad karma. Good luck is a reflection of your good karma. What I've been trying to explain once to my sister was, she was once stating, I do so much for so many people, and in return, I don't get anything back from those specific people. And so I had to explain to her, it's not about who you're giving to a specific person that they return it, because really, honestly, you should be giving unconditionally to someone without any expectations for them to return it, because that is your good karma, your love, your unconditional love that is speaking to you, that says, I want to do this for this person, not to be codependent, not because you're expecting them to love you more, not because you're expecting them to gift you more, but out of the sincerity of the love you have for that person here to support you while you're on this earth, and for you to be of service by sharing your love and your light to that person and anyone else that crosses your path, without any expectations of financial return, of love in return, of just even a thank you. It may not even come. But it's about your integrity, your authenticity, why you're even doing it. Do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because you're expecting something back from that person. So what I was explaining to her was that God actually is gifting you that return. It just may come in a different package through another person gracing you with blessings, through another thing, but it's being returned. Okay, so don't look for a specific person to return it to you. The same as if you do something bad, negative to someone or something, it doesn't mean that that person that you did that to is going to be the one to return it to you. It could be someone else. Hence karmic partners. Hence going into debt. Some misfortune happening. It gets returned to you in a different manner. Okay, so again, just because you do something for someone specifically doesn't mean that person is going to give it back. It comes from different sources. Even all of our blessings, everything like that, you'll be amazed at how many angels come to us and help us throughout our journey by giving us a kind word when we were feeling low, by gifting us with, clothes when we really needed it, by gifting us with food when we really needed it, helping out with our kids when we really need it. Whatever those scenarios, this is what I'm saying, right? So God is blessing you somehow, some way, due to your positive karma and you being of service of love and light. But there's also the other spectrum, the duality of it is if you are doing something negative or hurtful, that comes back to you as well in a different way. One way or the other, you're going to receive your lesson by good job, keep up the good work, God's returning your abundance to you, or you know what? There's some areas of opportunity for you to learn, and it's coming to you in many different forms, the same as your positive is coming to you in many different forms. And if it's positive or negative, and deep down inside if you're being positive or negative. Okay, even your words come back to you with duality, so you can use words that are negative or positive, uplifting, or words that tear you down or tear someone else down or uplift them and stuff like that. You know that words have power. Words are equally spells, essentially. You are casting out like words have power. This whole time we hear these sayings and we never even understand what those words mean. And that's again why I said in one of my videos that it's time for you to start looking up definitions and what words truly mean, so you understand the power of the word you are utilizing, not only your actions, but the words. Okay. So, sometimes words hit and hurt deep. There's reasons. One, because you might need to heal that area. But two, they're literally throwing harm at you with the negativity, or they're throwing love at you and uplifting you. And your heart feels that each and every single time. You know how you feel when hurtful words come at you. You know how you feel when uplifting words come at you. That's why it's also very important that you use those same words to uplift yourself. There was times when I really said some things that really lowered me. You don't want to do that. You are smart. You are intelligent. You are loving. You are kind. Part of my journey was learning how to do self-affirmations to uplift yourself and change the way you think, how you speak, your programming of your mind that for so long put on repeat the negative words that hurt us over and over again in our mind. How many times does your mind replay the hurtful things that's happened in our lives, the scary things that's happened in our lives, or just traumatic things in general to help mirror some of the traumas that we've been experiencing in our lives? So your words come back to you. Your beliefs come back to you. If you believe that you are worthy of the disrespect that you receive, you're going to continue to receive it. If you feel you are stupid, you feel that you can't do something right, or that I can't lose this weight, and you continually call yourself, big and all this other stuff, all these words that disempower you, that's what's going to continue. And not only that, you're inviting people to do that same thing to you. So if you uplift yourself, you continue to uplift yourself, you can set those boundaries that, quite frankly, when someone's saying anything that counters that, you will know that boundary is being crossed, and you can then set that boundary with them that, no, you're not doing that, no. And you can do it in a way that's not hurtful, because you already know who you are, okay? Again, if you don't know who you are, there's just steps you have to start taking in order to do so. And I've said in my other video, it's not easy, but you do have to start yourself somewhere. And I will get into some of the things that I did in my journey to help start rebuilding myself. And it's not that everything will become perfect, because again, it's not a snap of a finger and you're perfect. No, you're going to have good days and you're going to have challenging days. You're going to have to, like I told you in another video, reparent yourself. Not every day is going to be a great, amazing day. And not, you can, in 5 hours later, you may feel, blah, but then you have to know how to bring yourself out of it by prayers, meditation, mindfulness, breathing, exercising, going out for a walk, your affirmations, positive music, certain megahertz that is actually positively influencing your body, stuff like that. Okay. Duality, it exists in us. And that, I think that's the biggest thing, is we always put so much pressure to be happy. And if we felt sad, angry, depressed, what did that mean to us? What was wrong with us if this was that? And that goes down to what happened when we were kids, when we were feeling like we're doing something wrong. You're not doing anything wrong if you don't feel a certain way. Again, there's energies that you just don't even understand about. And the minute you start gaining more knowledge, the more you know, the more you grow. So once you recognize energy all around and all the stuff that's happening, whether it's weather, whether it's illnesses, people's loss, hate, the catastrophes of whatever natural disasters that's occurring, things of that nature, those energies are circling and can create these fluctuations of our energy. Duality. The energy has positive ions, negative ions, and we are part of that energy flowing all up and down through us. And on a subconscious level, we feel it. We know it. Just like a dog can sense, an animal can sense something wrong in an environment and can flee an area prior to it happening. It's the same thing we do. It's just we lost those senses. You're not aware. So, duality. Once you open your mind to seeing there's so much more out there than you ever knew, it would make more sense. And it will take some of those pressures off of you. And quite frankly, allow you to heal a little bit more. Because, again, you understand that it's not about our parents and what they did and what they didn't do. It's not about us, of what we did or what we didn't do. It's about now becoming aware, blessedly aware, and equipping yourself with ways to bring balance, yin and yang. They're opposites, but they're flowing together. So just like a male and female are opposites, okay, we have masculine and feminine energies within us as well. So you have whether you are personally a man or a female on the outer, it doesn't matter. It's about your inner energies, okay? So with your masculine energies, you have logic, being extrovert out in the world, protector. You have a couple other characteristics. I'm not going to go into that right now. I'll do another video on that. But then your feminine energy is introvert, spiritual, emotional, creative. Okay. And then that's within. And then on the outer, we have our partner, which we're usually drawn to the opposite energy. So the masculine will have those characteristics on the outer, and then the feminine will have the feminine energies on the inner. Okay. So again, you could be the same sex. It doesn't matter. But one person will hold more masculine energy and the other person will hold more feminine energy, but they both have both masculine and feminine energies within. And within those, we have duality. Even within those, we have a wounded masculine energy and a wounded feminine energy. And that is needing to be healed in order to... So the masculine obviously can go to the extremes of control, of abuse. Again, I'll go into that video later. And the feminine can be really the victim mentality, very sensitive, very manipulative, and some of those other things. So again, do you see the balance just alone in those two? So when you're wounded versus healed, okay? But again, if you didn't even realize there's a masculine and feminine energy within you that needs to be healed, then you wouldn't have been aware of that either. Your masculine, wounded masculine energy is healed by healing your mother wounds. Your feminine and wounded feminine energy is healed by healing your father wounds. And then to come into balance with yourself, to center all those things, then your feminine energy is more intuitive and creative, and it's more aligned with God and spirit. So that way you are more in tune with divine guidance and prayer and knowing who you are on the inside, you know, your intuition and all these things that then funnel in to your masculinity side that takes all the internal information and transmutes it into the outer, which is being of service and putting it to career, to really taking it into the outer world. Okay. So, and of course, protective and all that other stuff that still comes into play. And then your creative comes out into play, whether you're an artist, a musician, a cook, someone who funnels all that stuff into your everyday because you become passionate about it. So you are inspired by it, by your feminine, and then you take action and put that inspiration into form, physical form. All right, but anyway, so sidetracked there, but that's what I'm saying. There's a duality in us. So you have that duality, and then you have your balanced and unbalanced chakras within us. We have our dark and our light. So why is temptation always there? It's because we have our dark and our light. I would really like that donut right now. But that apple is what I actually really need to really actually provide me with the natural nutrients, vitamins, and health benefits that this apple is going to bring versus this empty calorie, this no nutritional value whatsoever, but it tastes so good. What are you going to do? What are you going to choose? You know, same as arguing. I love this person. I don't want to fight with this person. I don't want to have any circumstances that might come up that will harm this relationship, this person. You know, it could go anywhere from your parents talking to their kids, you talking to your partner, your work. You know, it could be a stranger. It could be your animal. It could be your plant. I don't care. It's just a relationship of some sort. Your money. You know, this money, I really need to pay this bill. But oh my gosh, this is on sale. Or I really need this vacation. You know, do you see what I'm saying? You're going to have temptation because it exists within you. The challenge is your test, your pop quiz. You're always going to be challenged. God is always going to be testing you. Where does your faith lie? Where does your heart lie? Is it strong enough to say no? Can you be strong enough to say no to yourself? If you can master yourself, then you can master, and again, this is inside your temple, then you can master everything else around you. We don't know that. So we think we're just living life day by day. That's how we live, paycheck to paycheck, one day at a time. And we live life thinking it's the way that we were taught or shown, and it's not. It's so much more. Duality, cause and effect. Anything you mistreat falls away. You might want to replace it with something, but if your energy, if you haven't learned, it comes back to you in a different form until you learn. Hence, karmic partners. And I'll get into that too later, regarding our relationships and stuff. But, you know, opposites attract. And there is such a thing. You know, in my other video, I said that, you know, another person doesn't complete you. And that is true. That really, it's true to the point where what I mean is you need to be aware of your strengths and weaknesses. You need to be aware of where you stand and who you are with your values, your morals, what you accept and what you don't accept. So that when that person comes into your life, you can contribute to that. And your weaknesses, as you continue to grow and learn with your partner and through life, you observe and you grow, and those weaknesses will become strengths. Okay? So say, for instance, your partner is strong in something. Then you experience that area of weakness and, you know, working together, supporting one another, which again, we're all supporting systems. You'll learn and you'll grow because now you've been able to witness it, where in your life you may not have been able to witness that before. And that's okay. And but now you know. So now you can go forth and do better, right? Again, a lot of things we don't know until we've learned a lesson, and then we know. It's just, that's the truth. You don't know something's hot unless you touch it. You don't know how to spell your ABCs 1, 2, 3s if you weren't taught it. You wouldn't know a lot of different things, whether positive or negative, if it wasn't taught. And at some point, that teaching needs to be realigned, and that teaching comes from somebody. Okay? It's just the point. That's just the cycle of things. Someone's teaching us somehow, some way, and that's all funneled through God. God is truly working his magic and teaching us all, because not near one of us can say of originating source other than through God. But neither here nor there. Sidetrack. So even your partner who's strong at something can become weak, whether that is through a life challenge, a test, illness, whatever that scenario is. And then the other partner is going to stand up and become strong for that partner until that partner is able to get back on their feet. That is what a partnership is, right? So there's always going to be a yin and a yang, a cycle and a flow, because both of you, mom, dad, child, children, friends, family, siblings, every single one of you, finances, your health, your well-being is going to go through a cycle. Okay? It's just a guarantee. Something is going to happen in your life that's going to go through a cycle, a change, a growth. And through change, you have to in order to have growth, you have to go through a challenge. And how you handle that challenge graduates you or puts you back. So you're constantly learning, which is why I mention the duality of what we're feeding our temple also. What music we're listening to, what friends are we listening to, what are we watching? Are you watching things that elevate your spirit, or are you watching things that downgrade? Are you watching, court TV shows, or are you watching what's that called? World Star, where they're fighting all the time? Jerry Springer. These things that tear things down. Sometimes they're educational. They're like the court shows, I guess. I wasn't ever a big fan. There was a lot of negativity. Are you watching a lot of reality TV shows, or are you watching documentaries? Are you watching biographies? Are you reading? Are you drawing? Are you singing? Are you dancing? Are you doing things to find who you are truly? What you like truly? Are you reading the Bible? Are you praying? Are you being of service? Being charitable? Are you expanding your mind? Are you feeding yourself nourishment or just junk? Are you dulling your mind to dull the pain? Whether that is through mindless TV, drugs, alcohol, random sex with people? Or are you finding the cherished moments between that person you truly love? The healthy, nutrient, vibrant foods and drinks, or buying things to help show another person how much you care, or the outfit because of the fact you are rewarding yourself because you really have been growing and you realize this is truly something I need in my life right now, because everything else is old and outdated and it's time. Okay. Are you treating yourself to a trip because it's time? Not because of frivolously wanting it and all that, and it was unplanned and you're spending money that you don't have, but instead you took time to make sure everything was taken care of, that you budgeted accordingly, and that you've now set aside that time for that pleasure and that reward. Healthy pleasures versus unhealthy pleasures. Are you loving yourself? And when I say loving yourself as an honored temple. You are a temple. God resides within us all. We're all God's children. He's always hearing you. The question is how is your signal? If your body, your mind, everything about you is clogged up, congested, dark, he may not be able to get through to you. There's the thing called divine intervention, because he's watching, he sees, he'll intervene. Maybe not in the way you want to, but he'll intervene to create a charge that ignites you, that will separate a situation so that you can calm down and cool your heads. You know, there's my story. My gosh, I'm a witness to it. I can testify to God's interventions in my life, and you've had interventions as well. You've had miracles and you've had interventions, and again, it's about duality. If you're dark, you're going to pick up the darker energies. If you're light, you're going to pick up the lighter energies. Duality. So I'll make more videos. If you have more questions, go ahead and feel free to ask. But choose what you do, what you say, what you think more wisely. And realize you're not the same person you were yesterday. Take the lessons you learned and don't make them again. Fail forward. Yeah, I failed. Okay. And now I'm taking my lessons and now I'm building myself up and I'm going to go forward and I'm going to make it a success. I might stumble again, but I'm going to get right back up and I'm going to take those lessons too and then keep going. I'm not going to be that same person I was that last time. Every day I'm a new person. Every day I'm out living this life. Every day I'm learning. And I'm choosing to understand when I feel bad. I'm willing to understand what it was that created me to feel bad. And I'm willing to research it. I'm willing to find out how I can become better than I was yesterday. Duality. Utilize it so that you become better you. With great power comes great responsibility. Find out what your tools are. There's a lot of them out there. You just never used it. Get out of the phone. Get out of the mindless TV and the gossiping and the things that just aren't healthy. Get out. Go outside. Go to nature. Breathe. Eat God's fruits, vegetables. Drink water. Nourish your soul. Have fun. But learn. Grow. And learn what this life is actually really meant to be. It's to learn. And it is to overcome challenges. It is to become stronger. But it is also to become more loving. Strength doesn't mean you have to control and oppress and to live in fear, because that's the dark energies. No, it's to love, to be aware. Yeah, to trust, but to be aware, be mindful, grow, and expect change. Expect duality within yourself, within your partner, within your family, within your job, within the community, within all the things that you see. And focus on healing yourself, working on the things that you need to focus on. You'll be amazed at who you are deep down under all that gunk. Shine your light. Be you. Love. I can tell you, it's not always easy. It's easier said than being done sometimes. Because if you don't know, it just feels wrong. It feels weird. And guess what? That's what I felt the whole time, my whole life. And then then it started making sense. But that doesn't mean that those feelings of energy goes away. There's going to be those tough days that, you know, that weight is just like, but that's where you learn how to deal with those so you can help shift the energy. And again, I can't stress enough, prayer was a big thing for me. I'm thankful for God and my angels walking me through a lot of this transition. But I've been blessed with a supportive family, with understanding, and quite frankly, just being able to read, to understand, to grow. And I'm paying it forward through these videos. And for those it resonates with, I'm grateful you found this video. And God bless. Have a good night. See you later.